Now I'm filming with natural light for the first time, so you can now see how ugly I really am. Hello guys, D899 here. Welcome to today's video, and we will be going through tips and predictions for round 7 of the NRL season for 2024. Let's do it. Opening match, depending on if it pops up behind me, because I don't know how good the chroma key would work, but it is the Sydney Roosters up against the Melbourne Storm. Now, Roosters have been a very interesting team. They've actually been a little bit inconsistent in parts, but they've actually had some very gutsy performances. They bounced back from their loss to the Bulldogs with several key players out and getting a tight win over the Knights, with Joey Manu having arguably his best performance ever in a Roosters jersey. I don't think that's controversial to say. And the Melbourne Storm were just about in a very much almost blew it against the Bulldogs. Bulldogs actually had a really good game, but the Storm were able to just about clinch the win. And it sets up an absolute tasty round 7 opener. Both teams are actually very even in betting odds, so it's kind of a coin flip. You know what? You got Walker and Tedesco coming back. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think draw. No, it's I do think if I had to pick one of the teams, I'd probably just edge it to the Roosters. It will be close. You could kind of coin flip and it'd just be like, yeah, fair enough. Now we go into the Friday games, and at 6 p.m. we actually have a pretty interesting one. We have the St. George Illawarra Dragons up against the New Zealand Warriors. Now, the Dragons actually had a very good performance and got the win over the West Tigers last week. Zach Lomax has actually been playing really well. Obviously, he is going to Parramatta, but he's actually had a pretty decent season so far. And the Warriors are coming off a draw, 24-all draw against the Manly Sea Eagles. Now it's going to be interesting to see how this Dragons team can go. I think they could surprise some people, but for this match, I'm going to tip that I think the Warriors should win this. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Lomax does go in this and if they can make this game pretty close. Now we go into the final game on the Friday, and we're heading up to Darwizzy. I'm so white. As we're going to Darwin, as we're going to see the Parramatta Eels take on the Dolphins. Parramatta are coming off a very good win over the North Queensland Cowboys, whilst the Dolphins are coming off a loss in their battle for Queensland, still yet to knock off their crosstown rivals, even though they're not like, I don't know. But I think with this match, as Parramatta are quite decent favourites, I did trust the Dolphins last week because I didn't really understand why there was such, a bit of a gap, and you had key players out for the Dolphins, but and it's sort of the same circumstance here. So I'm actually going to say that I think Parramatta should win this game, but watch that not happen, because the Dolphins are a team like that. Now we move on to Saturday, and at 3 p.m. we have the Penrith Panthers up against the West Tigers. Obviously, in the sort of circumstance last year, the Tigers had one of the biggest upsets in recent memory, I think, was when they beat the Penrith Panthers. But Penrith are coming off a bye from last week, and the West Tigers are coming off a loss to the Dragons. I do actually have a bit of a gut feeling that this might actually also be quite close, because you do have Penrith do have a couple of players out. I think Cleary suffered a bit of a hiccup, so he's still going to be out. And I think Luai's having a knee problem, so I think he could be out as well. I do want to tip the Tigers. I do want to tip them, but I just can't. I think it's just going to be too much, but I'm just going to say that I think Penrith should win. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Tigers win this. Now we go into the 5:30 match, and we head up to the Gold Coast as we see the Titans take on the Manly Sea Eagles. The Titans were one of the teams that did go into a golden point battle, but lost with 90 seconds to go against Canberra, though not without controversy, because I'm trying to remember, there was a penalty that should have been called in one of the field goal attempts by Kieran Foran, so it should have been a kick in front, potentially for the Titans to win the game. So there's that. And obviously Manly, 24-all draw against the Warriors, and I just think Manly should have had it in the bag, but just unfortunately let the Warriors in the last couple of minutes. I'd really like to say that I want the Titans to win, but I can't pull the trigger on it just yet. He's also got players like Jaden Campbell who's out, and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think it's possible. I'm going to have Manly win this. And then finally, 7:35 kickoff on Saturday night, we have the Brisbane Broncos up against the Canberra Raiders. Brisbane obviously winning again against their crosstown technicality rivals, and the Canberra Raiders did get a field goal win, not without controversy, against the Gold Coast Titans. It is usually stuff like this fixture where there has been sort of upsets and stuff like that. Brisbane are the favourites, though, being 7 points. Brisbane are the favourites going into this game. They are 7 places below Canberra. But I think this actually could be a bit of a ripper match. I think it's going to be very close, and I'm actually going to go against the grain. I think Canberra will win. I think Canberra will do another upset over them in Suncorp. And now we go into the Sunday matches. Starting off at 2 p.m, we have the Bulldogs up against the Knights. So the Bulldogs, I thought they were going to win against Melbourne, but just Melbourne were able to just come back and hang on. And the Knights were in a very close battle with the Roosters. Knights probably should have won, but didn't, because we can't beat the Roosters to save our lives. But I do feel like this match is going to be interesting, because obviously the last time these two teams played each other at a core, it was the Knights' 66-0 win, and it was what kick-started their winning streak. I do think it's a bit of different circumstances, because I think this Bulldogs team is very good compared to what it was that was fielded in that match. I think the Knights should win this, but if the Knights don't, then I think we should that alarm bells should start ringing. Not in thinking that the Bulldogs are a bad team and all, but it's like it's a team in very similar positioning that you'd think that we probably should win, and if we don't, then there's some problems going on. So I'm going to say the Knights will win, but if not, some questions might need to be asked. Now we go into the final match of Sunday, 4 p.m. It is the Cronulla Sharks up against the North Queensland Cowboys. Top 4 battle. Yeah, the Sharks have just been really, really good. Did have a little bit of a scare against the Rabbitohs, but, you know, just marched home really well. And the Cowboys weren't exactly too great but against Parramatta, but, you know, it's still sort of a close match there. I think this could be match of the round. You know, you've got two teams who are going really well at the moment, colliding. It's at Shark Park. I don't know about who I think is going to win this match. I'm kind of split. I think this could be a game. I feel like if any game was to go to Golden Point, it would be this one. But I might go against Green. I'm going to say the Cowboys, I think, should get the win. Anyways, that is the end of this video. Who do you have this week? Let me know. Comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.